Christmas is just around the corner. It's a time where we want to treat our loved ones. It's a time of happiness, a time of cute movies, and the time where we want to have the best presents to surprise our loved ones and show them our love and appreciation. And maybe you're tempted to gift someone a puppy for Christmas. And if you are tempted, then please do watch this video first. Hi, I'm Stephanie and I'm a dog mom to 2 dogs. One of them is right here. In this video, we're going to talk about the reasons why puppies and dogs generally make really bad Christmas presents and why you totally do want to reconsider gifting someone a puppy. At the end, I will give you some amazing alternatives you can gift someone instead of a living puppy or a dog, so you still can get the gift and the joy of a puppy and all the happiness a dog can bring, however in a different kind of way. So I hope you stay tuned and let's get started. The first reason why it's a really bad idea to gift someone a puppy is because dogs are a commitment. They are not just a commitment time-wise, and I know a lot of children do promise that they will take the dog for a walk regularly, and they might do for the first couple of weeks. However, having spoken to so many people, this commitment usually This commitment usually stops relatively quickly, and even if the children do take the dog out for walks, a dog is still way more of a responsibility. Children grow up, they go to college or whatever, so it's not just the children involved, it's also the parents involved. When it comes to financial bills, when it comes to veterinary bills, etc., dogs cost a lot of money, so the parents are definitely in charge, and you would need insurance for a dog, etc. So you do want to have a commitment to that dog long term. And also having to rescue dogs, there's a lot of dogs that are not being considered a long-term investment. I think we all have seen this during the pandemic and the lockdown puppies that came into place, where people had just the urge to buy a puppy. So I think this is something that people really need to consider before getting a dog. And if you gift someone the dog, you don't know if they are really committed. Maybe they just really like the idea of having a dog. However, it might not be that they have the long-term commitment of actually wanting to have a dog. Also, in order to have the dog to join the family and become part of the family, it's important that people find a dog that matches their lifestyle, that matches their personality, and also a dog that fits into the family. So a dog generally, of course, is a dog. However, every dog is very different. Every dog has very different individual traits. Having a dog, especially if you think about it, having a member of the family join your family, it's kind of a big deal, right? Of course, there are certain things that are true for every dog. So for example, time commitment, responsibility, financial commitments, etc. However, every dog also is a breed or a mix of breeds. These breeds do come with certain breed specifics. Also, if you get a non-purebred dog, you might not really know how the crossing turns out, what kind of traits the dog has inherited, and what the dog really does need. In order to have a rounded puppy or have a rounded dog later on, you will have to fulfill the dog's needs. So these can be very different, and depending on the lifestyle, this might be a really bad match. On top of this, you would have also the dog's personality. So every dog obviously is also different and has their own personality traits, has their own likings, has their own fears, has their own behaviors, different energy levels. So in order to find a dog or to find a puppy that really does fit into the lifestyle of a family, of a person, is quite difficult. In order to find a dog that would be a good match for that family, you would need to really get to know the puppy, and you would also need to get to know the family and understand what kind of lifestyles there are. Generally, as a first-time dog owner or as a dog owner in general, you should ask yourself some questions. I filmed another video about questions to ask yourself before getting a dog, and I will link it down below in the description box. So if you are getting a dog for yourself, or if you are getting a puppy for yourself or for your family, then you might want to check out this video too. But generally, if you go to a breeder, a reputable breeder, or even to a rescue center, they will make sure that the dog is a good match for the family and vice versa. So they would not just rehome or give someone a puppy. Again, if it's a reputable breeder, they will not do this. It's a really tough decision to make in order to make sure the puppy is in good hands and that the family and the dog have the best chances of starting a successful family together or growing into a good team. Then also, depending on the dog or the breed of the dog's history, etc., you will have to put in some effort as well. Sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less. There is a lot of dogs who are working kind of dogs, so you will have to find different ways to entertain these kind of dogs. You will also have to learn how to train a dog. It's quite some time and money and resources, but resources, whatever they are, it is usually time if you train the dog yourself, but also the knowledge you would need to get. And then repetition. Training is not something you do once and it's done. It's a journey, and dog training is a constant journey. And puppies are cute, of course they are, and they follow you around and they are easy peasy, but also as a puppy you would have to train them, you would have to show them the world, and also they might not be potty trained, etc. So you put a person into a position where they have to get up at night, where they have to change their life at least for a certain amount of time until the dog is adjusted to the family. So it's actually quite a big life change you would put onto someone. And as I said earlier, it might be that, yes, maybe they have talked about getting a dog or getting a puppy at one point. However, it might not be right now the time for them to really consider getting a dog or introducing a dog into the home. Also, sometimes we just really do like the idea of something, don't we? And then if things happen, change. Not all of us do cope very well with change. And introducing a dog to your family is actually quite a big change. And introducing a dog into a family is actually quite a big change, not just for the dog, but for the whole family, for the lifestyles, etc. Dogs do need to go out, dogs need to have potty breaks, dogs need to be fed. Yes, I know. Dogs need to go to the vet, dogs need to be trained, etc. So you impose a big change on people. Depending on how we do cope with change, we might just don't cope too well. Also from a very practical point of view, does their lease even allow for a dog in the house? Again, depending on the breed. For example, if you give someone a pit bull puppy or whatever, are they allowed to have pit bulls in the house? Even if someone says, yes, you can have a dog, but often pit bulls are excluded from these clauses. Does the family want to move abroad? What if they have a dog who would be considered dangerous dogs or has breed-specific legislation in some countries? So to bring this point to an end, and there would be loads of things to think about as well, I think it's fair to say that dogs are a long-term commitment, and in order to have a happy everly after, you do want to put some thoughts into what dog would fit your family. Is now the right time to get a dog into your household? And basically, what are your plans for the next 14 years or so? Are you committed long-term to that dog? And what kind of dog would you need to get in order to make this a good decision? Another point, and I mentioned reputable breeders. So breeders who are interested in finding a right home for the puppies, breeders who maybe are Kennel Club approved, breeders who do make sure they breed good line, breeders who check for behavior, for gene defects, etc. They will make sure that puppies are going to the right home. So they will help you to assess which dog would be the right dog for that family. If you get a puppy somewhere, cheap, fast, basically available for Christmas, and they are not asking a lot of questions, then chances are that these puppies might not come from a reputable breeder, but maybe from a puppy mill or a puppy farm. And I've done a separate video about this too, so I will link this again down below, why this is something we definitely should not support. First of all, because it's super unethical, of course, and the dogs who are being bred might be stolen or whatever, but they might just be kept in tiny little cages, never see broad daylight, never get out, and are just basically breeding machines who might get discarded when they are done. But also for you, you might get a puppy that has been brought into the country, maybe from abroad, has been taken away from the mom way too early, might not be a purebred dog, or might have several illnesses, or might simply be sick and might not survive the first couple of months. Imagine you would give someone a puppy, and wouldn't this break children's hearts if the puppy would then become incredibly sick and would die shortly after? And yes, I'm sorry, and this is of course a really sad topic. However, we need to talk about this. This is important. And yes, so I think please do check out the video about puppy farms. Please do check other sources. Please do inform yourself about puppy prices, ethical prices, and ethical breeding, as well as unethical breeding. Also, pet shop puppies fall into similar categories. So please do check the video out if you're thinking about getting a dog from a pet shop. And then the last point I would like to make is that even if you consider getting a puppy for yourself or for your own family, please do reconsider whether Christmas is the right time to get a puppy into your house. Generally, Christmas or the whole holiday season is a very stressful season, not just for the dog, but for everyone. If you have a dog and you bring home a dog, whether this is a rescue dog or a new puppy, it's a massive change for them. They've been maybe taken away from their mom, they are sleeping alone for the first time, everything is new, it's a scary new world out there. If you have a rescue dog, they might have been in the shelter, and again, every shelter is a different adjustment. And I filmed another video about this too, so please do check it out. I'll link them all down below. So it might take a bit longer to adjust, and you might be stressed from the holidays. You might have to visit family. You want to see your partner's family. You want to see your own family. Then you want to create a great dinner, etc. We know how stressful Christmas can be, or the holiday season generally. So maybe this might not be the right time to get a puppy. Maybe it's better to get the puppy in February or sometime after. So you just really can make space for the dog. Better to get the puppy a bit later, maybe in February or maybe in March, when also, depending on what kind of line and business you're in, maybe January is the most busy season for you, where you cannot take some holidays, where you cannot really focus on adjusting to your puppy's lifestyle, where you don't have time for regular potty breaks, etc. So there's a lot of things to think about, and please do think about it before gifting someone a puppy, because I really do believe that puppies do make incredibly bad gifts and should not be gifted. Dogs are not a thing. Dogs are beings, and dogs are part of the family. So please do reconsider if you think about gifting someone a dog. As promised in the intro, I have some great alternatives for you that you could gift someone if they really would like a dog for Christmas. And here are the alternative gift ideas for someone who would really like to have a puppy for Christmas. You could gift them a training course, and this could be a training course for how to train your dog, how to train your puppy. This could be how to train as a dog walker, how to train as a dog boarder. This could also be combined with guiding them towards an app like Rover.com or maybe Borrow My Doggy. With Rover.com, you, for example, could become a dog walker, you become a pet sitter, you could do drop-in visits with your neighbors and just play with their pets for like maybe half an hour a day when they're gone. You could take the dogs for holiday seasons, or on the weekends, or maybe just even become a dog walker. You could also make money with this. So the person would not just get to hang out with dogs and get to also experience different types of dogs, different ages of dogs, different type of breeds, different energy levels, different ages, etc. So it's a great way to also figure out which dog would you prefer, which kind of breed would you like, because often we just check on Instagram or follow someone on YouTube or wherever who has a certain type of dog and a certain type of breed. We think every dog will be like this. However, we don't know how much training went into the relationship to be like this. We don't know what the dog's characteristic is like. And again, every dog is an individual. So it just really makes a lot of sense to get a feeling for dogs before deciding to get one. If you're not interested in earning money with this, you could check out an app like Borrow My Doggy or an equivalent in your country. So it's basically an app where people share their dogs with someone else. So people who would really just like to hang out with a dog and people who need someone to look after their dog. Another great alternative is to foster maybe a rescue dog. And there are even cute little puppies in need of foster homes. And you could basically have a puppy around 24/7. Maybe even have a puppy for a foster to adopt, where you figure out, is this a good match? And if it is, you can keep the puppy, but you have a fair chance of getting to know that dog. You could also foster an older dog. So the person could become a proper life changer for a dog. It could also be a foster home for a dog who might come from abroad and who's really scared of the world. So you would not only get to hang out with really cute dogs, but also you would see the amazing, incredible transformation rescue dogs can go through and change a dog's life. And yes, we weren't changing the world, but we do change a dog's life. And it's actually a win-win, because you would not only not support unethical breeding and people who just breed dogs or steal dogs for making money out of them, but you would also help to save dogs and to spread the word about the beauty of rescue dogs. My dogs are all rescue dogs, and I'm a big supporter. Or maybe have them volunteer at a shelter, or maybe where people work with their dogs. So to really get to know dogs, you could maybe also volunteer at an agility practice, wherever. So the person can get to know lots of dogs, can hang out with dogs, but might not have the responsibility and the commitment of having to care for an own dog. So I hope you found this helpful. Again, there's loads of videos I have filmed around the topics I mentioned, and I will link them all down below, as well as a link to Rover.com in case you want to check it out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for reconsidering gifting someone a puppy, and I wish you a happy Christmas and generally a very lovely festive season. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon next time. Bye!